Okay, Coach, so normally thoughts turn to basketball this time of year in the Hoosier State, but not so this year. The NFL playoffs have come to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They give to Johnson going right. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gross. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A first down carry here for Johnson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect.
Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready, ready. 8, read. right, T, let's go. All right, T. Jump. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Set, go.
They'll run on first down. Paul, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
80 weapon. 53, Mike. All day, every day, any day. Let him.
Cruz from the gun, he'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Big stop, let's go. Bang.
On second down, it's Paul. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Tight end roll me. Hey, we got 4.
Throwing on first down, Cruz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Set the top. Watch out. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Coming. Ready, go.
Back to throw. Cruz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Topper. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Don't get nervous. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Hey, Mike's trying. 56. Mike, 56. Right there, right there.
Back to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Intercepted. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game.
Mike, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Cruz throwing on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Grady Jarrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. He sets to fire deep. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball at the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Johnson. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll look to throw here. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. The 40, 30, 20. 10. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are. And now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check. 56.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Check 99. 61. Matchbox. Right. See it. On. Ready. Go.
He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at about the 14. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
56. Let's go, defense. Greystone.
On 2nd down now, it's Paul. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On the ready. 53. Check 53. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Pick the edge. Pick the edge. Come. 36. Set, go.
Now Cruz to throw. Looking to throw on second down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go. Set. Has 70 in 53. Mike, 53. You ain't got nothing. Smoke. Mike,
On third down, Paul. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up fourth down. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Down. Can Lobo. Check 56. We ain't giving him nothing today. 66. Fully. Go.
On first down, it's Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll drop the throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Ravens on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
64, weak.
He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gross. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
56. Check 56.
2nd and 14. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And a Raven first down.
Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
First down, Ravens.
Ready, ready. 8, read. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check safety, check safety. They call 132 fight. Ready, go.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
That's it, baby.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On second down, Eckler. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Let's go, baby.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Looking to throw. Cruz. And the pressure gets to him again. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable here for Davis. 51 yards on the punt there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down the middle. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Paul, and he lost the football, and the ball is knocked out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go. Set. 70 in. Check pass. Check pass.
On 3rd down, Paul. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
First down, Baltimore.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Kill. H3, 218, chopper. Ready, go.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go to Johnson again. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
On the
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a big...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Cruz. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Cruz now operating from the gun. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down too. Now Cruz on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. I smell fear in that offense.
Looking to throw. Cruz. Going to throw right side here. Complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try the left side. It's Paul, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Okay,
So from the
ready?
36 now, 1st and 10.
Quiet, 64, weak.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Flat.
Now this time he'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9.
53's mine. Check. 53's mine. I don't think you
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Grady Jarrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Davis now to return it. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Going on the ground with Eckler, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And the Ravens first down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Back to throw here. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. 6 man.
Cruz from the gun, he'll throw. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Cruz. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Keep it up, guys. Smoke. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53.
Second and long. And an alley to run. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
The Colts on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Cruz on third down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll move them back within 6 now. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Down. And Lobo. Combo. Hey, let's get this. He's checking.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On second down, Johnson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson, and he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Now Cruz to throw, operating from the gun. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Ready?
Cruz now. Throwing again. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.